We're content creators, designers, and visual artists, working with electronic moving pictures to blow people's minds.
Moving image is inherently a narrative medium. Even if you're showing the most abstract thing you've ever seen, the mind of the participant is going to assign a narrative to it. It's going to be trying as hard as it can unconsciously. It's very hard to deprogram yourself from seeing it that way, because 90% of the time, that's what it's doing. And I think a lot of the folks who are interested in doing visuals and VJing are interested in deprogramming people from really looking at the medium that way.
All your trekkies and TV addicts, don't mean to dance, don't mean to bring static. All your Klingons in your grandma's house, back your backstreet finna get loud. Pulling doors off inches, making you the pinches. And no, I didn't retire, I set you off with the needle nose plier. What, okay.
I don't like the image to be too overwhelming. You want to save those moments of like complete over-the-top visual excitement for peak moments.
It's actually very easy to turn all the knobs up to 11. You know, people are just walking into the venue at 9 o'clock and already the visuals are like completely, it's like Clockwork Orange.
Stop it, please, I beg you! It's a sin! It's a sin!
That real high intensity VJing, people tend to see a lot, and I actually feel like it's a detriment to the event in some ways, because our sensory abilities are wired so that we have to orient to the thing that's moving in the room, to the thing that's moving around. It's just a survival instinct, we can't get around it. When you walk into a restaurant and there's a TV in the corner or whatever, we're always going to orient to that. So we actually try to do the opposite of that a lot of the time. Visuals that don't necessarily trigger that orienting reflex. Because what that allows people to do in a venue is not be facing the screen the whole time. In order to make our content, we use all kinds of material, from standard cameras to After Effects, Final Cut. We may make some custom material for the show to make it more thematically tied in with the show. But we generally have like a large library of content. And then we do manipulation and playback of that content using Vidvox VDMX.
So VDMX is a modular visual instrument. Really, you can make anything connect to anything, much like working with an analog modular synthesizer or using software tools for making music that emulate that idea.
So I would say, okay, I want that 4/4 kick drum to be triggering the image just pulsing a little bit, or I want like the green channel of the image to shift to the right every time that kick drum comes in. I can isolate that frequency, which would be the bass all the way on the left. I can assign it to that parameter, and then you can just sort of fine tune it based on how much do you want the needle to be moving. When Ben and I started doing this, none of this software was even available. There was no software to do VJing. I don't know, in some ways I feel kind of fortunate that we had to invent our own tools. It actually helped us to kind of develop more of a signature style. We were just creating something that didn't exist yet. Whereas now I think a lot of people just pick up a piece of software and then everything they do just looks like the software. Before you start working, figure out what you want to do and write it down, or make a drawing, or make an animatic, or do something so you really have a really strong understanding of what you're trying to do first, before you pick up the software.
I also think it's valuable just to go to a tool and just say, like, I'm not going to go in with any preconceived ideas, and I'm just going to start messing with it to see what comes out of it. The next step is that, like, I'm like, okay, so I see what it can do. Now, how could I break it? Or like cook up a crazy recipe and like combine two things that aren't supposed to go together. The Nalepa video that Owen and I did in collaboration with Steve Nalepa was made on the Rut-Etra video synthesizer. And what I'd like to say is the Rut-Etra is essentially like a TV from an alternate dimension.
Hi, I'm Bill Etra, and this is the Rut-Etra video synthesizer. You can see that horizontal centering allows us to move the image through the effect.
So by hand you can control the black levels and the white levels, horizontal position, the vertical position, the width and height of the image. And then finally you can actually plug in audio signals, just like control voltages on an analog synth or modular software that's using those techniques. You plug your video into it, but the difference is it doesn't have to draw the video as an old cathode ray tube CRT would normally draw the picture. It could draw it that way, or you can put in your own oscillations, your own sine waves or square waves. You can put in audio, or you can even use video to distort any of the parameters of a TV display.
One of the reasons that Benton and I founded this company was because we could envision the time in the future, which is right around the corner now, where all of the surfaces around us can become visual video surfaces. Benton just did a show in China where he was projecting on fog screens. So it's not even a flat surface, it's like an ether that contains video. And so when you have this giant, large-scale video displays at your fingertips everywhere you look, what do you put on those displays? You're not going to just put on TV. I think this culture is all about participation. Even if people aren't necessarily participating during a show, they feel as if they could be. They feel as if, you know, that could be them up on stage, or that could be them doing those visuals.
It's like a mini renaissance going on right now, or maybe it's a major renaissance. You know, at this point, the people who are going to these shows, since they are kids, they've had computers there and they've had like little cheap cameras and camcorders and like the ability to make digital electronic media. You know, one of the pioneers of video predicted like, oh, someday the means of making video will be as common as a pencil and a piece of paper, right? And only at that point did he feel, when everybody has access to the tools, we would really see the blossoming of the highest video art and expression.
You know, like Ben was saying, I think people growing up with this media, they feel as if they're empowered to make it themselves, and a place like Dubspot is showing them, you know, they can.
Welcome to Dubspot. We believe in providing you hands-on experience right away. Whether you're completely new to music and want to turn the sounds in your head into a musical reality, or you're an experienced artist looking to refine your skills and add new tools to your arsenal, we're ready to meet you at your level. For students of all ages, all levels, and all styles of music, Dubspot is here to help you achieve your goals. With course offerings both online wherever you are and at our school in the heart of New York City, we are ready to guide you through the next phase of your musical transformation. Whether you want to produce music, DJ, or do both, you've come to the right place. Come explore Dubspot for yourself, become a part of our community, and make music.